the royal family, it's no different. And nobody consults me about their family business, so I try to stay out of people's family business.
Is Oprah done with Meghan Markle? That was the million-dollar question circling through Hollywood in 2024. And if the signs were anything to go by, the answer was leaning toward a frosty yes. Remember that bombshell sit-down back in 2021? The one that shook Buckingham Palace to its core and cemented Oprah as Meghan and Harry's unofficial Hollywood godmother. That era seemed like ancient history now. Fast forward to the latest round of royal scandals, and Oprah was nowhere to be seen. And in Oprah's world, silence isn't just absence. It's a loud, calculated message. Insiders whispered that the media titan had grown increasingly uneasy with the Sussex drama that just wouldn't die. Every headline was messier than the last. And Oprah, whose brand runs on control, elegance, and calculated storytelling, wasn't keen on being dragged into another headline. This time, she was letting Meghan ride the storm alone. But what exactly has Meghan done that has got so many celebrities riled up? If there's one thing the Duchess of Sussex knows how to do, it's break the internet. But of course, it has never been in a good way. To mark Princess Lilibet's 4th birthday, Meghan dropped a throwback video that left fans gasping, critics seething, and her Hollywood circle awkwardly silent. In the Instagram clip, Meghan was seen twerking in her hospital room, hips swinging, hands raised, and belly out as Star Keisha's The Baby Mama dance blasted in the background.
She posted this yesterday. There you go, folks. She's twerking in the labor room before giving birth to Lilibet, she just turned 4 actually. Little girl was just 4 yesterday. She wasn't.
Comments were disabled on the post, but that didn't stop people from dragging her all over social media.
Oh my God, this is horrific. Go online and watch this. Duchess...
Don't do it. Why are you telling people to not unless you're a masochist?
One stunned viewer tweeted, "It was so crass, I thought it was a spoof." Another wrote simply, "This woman has no shame." And in true royal scandal style, someone declared, "It's easy to see she's not a royal. No royal would behave in such a vulgar, low-class way. Disgusting." And if you're wondering where Meghan's A-list defenders were this time, well, they were nowhere to be seen. But guess what? This isn't a new thing. Turns out Meghan's social circle has been growing smaller and smaller ever since 2024. PR expert Ron Tarasian confirmed that Meghan and Harry's Hollywood glow is flickering out back in 2024. According to Tarasian, the couple has become less appealing to the star-studded crowd they once called friends.
I think that a lot of people and celebrities and companies are distancing themselves from the Sussexes because they do seem to be a flop.
He even pointed out that Meghan's desperate attempt to gift her American Riviera orchard jams to her dwindling list of celebrity pals said it all. But while Meghan was busy handing out homemade jam to keep her Hollywood relevance alive, back in Britain, the royals were facing something far more sobering. In 2024, King Charles' cancer diagnosis brought the family back into the headlines for a different reason. Harry, in a rare show of speed and solo effort, had flown from the US to London for a visit that lasted less than 24 hours. But he wasn't done. He promised to return more often, telling the press he had future trips lined up that would take him through the UK. He also said he planned to stop in and see his family as much as he can. What a difference a year makes. This time, in 2023, all eyes were on King Charles's upcoming coronation, and not just for the pomp and pageantry. The real question back then was whether the Duke and Duchess of Sussex would show their faces at Westminster Abbey. The palace was buzzing, the tabloids were in overdrive, and even Oprah Winfrey herself weighed in on the hottest invite dilemma of the season. Back then, Meghan and Harry were still riding the shockwaves of Spare, Harry's bombshell memoir that peeled back the curtain on royal dysfunction. Allegations were flying, relations were icy, and no one, not even the firm, was sure whether Harry would show up, let alone bring Meghan. After all, the couple's infamous 2021 interview with Oprah had already scorched a good few bridges. But when the coronation came around on May 6th, the suspense was finally broken. Harry did show, but solo. Meghan stayed behind in California with their kids, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet.
That's right, Meghan will stay in California along with Prince Archie and Prince Lilibet, choosing not to attend the coronation of King Charles.
Harry's UK pit stop was brisk and businesslike, and he barely clocked 30 hours on British soil before jetting back across the Atlantic to celebrate Archie's 4th birthday. It was a sharp contrast to the warm, almost protective tone Oprah once offered the couple. In 2023, when asked on CBS by her longtime friend Gayle King whether she thought Meghan and Harry should attend the coronation, Oprah gave a shrug cloaked in concern. She said they should simply do what they feel is best for them and for their family.
Do you think they should go? Do you think they should not go? Is it something you'd like to comment on? I'm listening.
I think they should do what they feel is best for them and for their family. That's what I think.
It was the kind of neutral soundbite that sounded supportive on the surface, but read between the lines, and it was the first hint that Oprah was beginning to loosen her grip on the Sussex narrative. Gone were the emphatic defenses. Gone was the glowing sisterhood. What remained was polite distance. Let's rewind to 2021, that now iconic sit-down interview that Oprah Winfrey conducted with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. The bombshells dropped in that primetime special could have shattered Buckingham Palace's windows from across the Atlantic. Meghan revealed she felt she would take her own life at some point, but was denied help.
But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it. And I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
Harry said his father, now King Charles, had cut him off entirely. And of course, the biggest bombshell ever, when Meghan said there were concerns about how dark Archie's skin was going to be.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
They dropped one royal grenade after another. It was explosive, to say the least. And Oprah was right there with them, giving their story a global platform and an understanding nod. But that isn't all, though. You see, Oprah tried to clean up the fallout by clarifying that Harry had told her off camera it wasn't the Queen or Prince Philip who made the racially charged comment.
Yes, and he did not share the identity with me, but he wanted to make sure that I knew, and if I had an opportunity to share it, that it was not his grandmother nor his grandfather.
But the damage had already been done. Accusations were flying, the monarchy was in meltdown, and Oprah found herself in unfamiliar territory, the target of criticism. Some called it journalism at its boldest. Others accused her of throwing fuel on a centuries-old institution already on fire. And while Oprah never publicly flinched, the vibes were telling. She gave the world the interview that made headlines for weeks. But what Oprah Winfrey didn't expect was just how deep the fallout would run. Speaking months later to her longtime friend Gayle King on CBS Mornings, Oprah confessed she had no idea the interview would explode the way it did.
And those surprises are now referred to as bombshell, but I didn't set out to do a bombshell interview. I set out to do an interview, have a conversation that would allow them to tell their story.
Even Gayle couldn't resist poking fun, noting that anytime Oprah's name came up in the press lately, it was tied to that interview. It had become a defining moment for Meghan and Harry, for the monarchy, and unexpectedly, for Oprah too. So naturally, it makes sense why Oprah, ever since then, has wanted to keep her distance. Think about it. Since 2021, the couple has been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, dropping bombshell after bombshell when it comes to the royal family. And guess what? Most of these developments keep happening through interviews. And let's face it, none of those interviews have had a good reception. Take December 8th, 2022, for example. That's when their highly anticipated Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan premiered. And in true Sussex style, it was packed with spicy revelations.
The Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan are out, and there are several moments grabbing headlines around the world.
In the first 3 episodes alone, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex opened up about their early relationship and royal life behind the scenes. Meghan revealed that the royal family was initially impressed by her, but had clear reservations about her acting career. She confessed that during her early days in the UK, she tried desperately to blend in by wearing neutral colors. Most of the time that I was in the UK, I rarely wore color, she said. There was thought in that. Apparently, she didn't want to stand out among the other royals. The couple didn't hold back when it came to the UK paparazzi either. Harry revealed he tried to coach Meghan after their relationship went public, but admitted the wave of abuse and harassment she faced was unlike anything he'd ever experienced. And it didn't stop there. Meghan shared that the relentless press hounding continued well past their wedding day. Things reached a breaking point when they decided to take legal action against Associated Newspapers for publishing her private letter to her father. One of the most gut-wrenching moments came when Harry opened up about Meghan's miscarriage. He admitted he watched the entire ordeal unfold, and while he couldn't prove the tabloids caused it, he firmly believed they played a part.
Tabloid attention on both the Duke and Duchess and how stressful and anxiety-producing that was. And Prince Harry actually says that that is what they believe caused Meghan to miscarry with their first child.
The stress, the sleepless nights, the relentless headlines about Meghan's private letter to her father, it all became too much. In Harry's eyes, their miscarriage was a direct result of what the press was trying to do to her. Now, some viewers were moved to tears, but if that revelation left people torn, Meghan's curtsy moment left them furious. In episode 2, Meghan shared how she had no idea she was about to meet Queen Elizabeth until moments before lunch at the Royal Lodge. lodge. According to her, Harry casually told her in the car that his grandmother would be there after church and asked if she knew how to curtsy. Meghan thought he was joking. Realizing it wasn't a joke, she scrambled to learn the royal protocol. But instead of telling the story gracefully, she acted it out like a comedy skit. On camera, Meghan dramatically bent her knees, spread her arms out wide, and dipped her head low in an exaggerated curtsy while giggling. Harry sat beside her, wearing an awkward half smile, fully aware of how this would go down with viewers. Fans thought it was Meghan being relatable and funny, just an American girl baffled by old traditions. Critics, however, were outraged. They called it disrespectful, vile, and humiliating to the Queen. To them, Meghan wasn't laughing with the royals, she was laughing at them. And that's exactly the moment Meghan and Harry's image around the world began to change. Sure, people felt sorry for them when the Oprah interview came out, but many claimed it looked like these two were the villains in their own story. And once that realization hit the headlines, Meghan knew she had to do something about it. In recent years, it seems like she's on a mission, and apparently it's all about shaking off her bad image.
But of course, Meghan wants truth to be something which makes her look good, or if it doesn't make her look good, then it's something she can attach her victimhood status to.
But according to royal experts, this sudden transformation has nothing to do with genuine domestic bliss, and everything to do with her desperation for good press. Royal author Ingrid Seward didn't hold back in her interview with Fabulous. She claimed Meghan's latest project, With Love, Meghan, is a calculated move to reinvent her entire image.
Whereas Meghan, of course, is now trying to reinvent herself as a version of Gwyneth Paltrow. I certainly hope that we don't get the scented candle.
Gone is the outspoken royal rebel. In her place is Meghan, the apron-wearing homemaker. Seward believes the Duchess wants to create a soft, cozy persona for herself. I think she really enjoys cooking, so I think what she wants to project is her image as a homemaker rather than a royal wrecker, she said. But of course, it wouldn't be Meghan without a little competitive edge thrown in. Seward pointed out that Meghan might also be trying to one-up Princess Kate. She added, "You remember with Kate, we've seen Kate cooking with Mary Berry, we've seen Kate making cakes, and we know that Kate is a very accomplished cook." Seeing that play out well, it looks like Meghan wants to follow the same formula for herself. At the heart of it all, Seward says, is pure PR desperation. But just as Meghan tries to rebrand herself as America's wholesome homemaker, Vanity Fair dropped a cover story that threatens to blow up her entire cozy act. Their piece, titled American Hustle, painted a scathing picture of Meghan behind the scenes. Sources described her as terrible, difficult, and even accused her of bullying her employees. And here's the thing, the magazine spoke to dozens of people for the 8,000-word expose. Many had to remain anonymous because they were bound by strict non-disclosure agreements. While Prince Harry is often described as charming, some say he gives off the vibe of a man with no inner life beyond polo matches and royal grudges. But Meghan, Vanity Fair reports she's a whole different story. According to their bombshell expose, Meghan seems desperate to come across as a good person with her endless world-improving projects. Despite these charity-driven efforts, Meghan has become a deeply polarizing figure in America, and Vanity Fair may have just revealed why. Writer Anna Peel described Meghan's behavior as downright retaliatory, especially towards people far below her in status. One insider who worked on the couple's chaotic Netflix and Spotify projects revealed Meghan's icy pattern with staff. Apparently, she would start warm and all smiles, creating an atmosphere of professional camaraderie that made everyone feel like part of her inner circle. But when things didn't go her way, her tone shifted fast.
2017, Meghan can be very cold. It's this shutdown mechanism she has. There's nothing to negotiate. She's made her decision, and that's it.
Suddenly, the Duchess would turn cold and withholding, shutting out the very people she once embraced. The source didn't hold back, calling the experience really, really, really awful, very painful.
One anonymous staffer told Jason that her interactions with Meghan made her feel sick, while another mystery staffer told him, "I can't stop shaking, and I feel terrified." A palace aide described Meghan's behavior as more like emotional cruelty and manipulation, which I guess could also be called bullying.
Ultimately, it looks like as Meghan continues to build her polished, good person image in public, insiders say behind closed doors, her reputation is proving hard to shake. And now that more people like Oprah are taking notice, there's only one thing on their mind: to stay as far away from the drama as possible.